I think it's high time that great scientists should look at it and start wondering why is it the way it is made, why we are so much looked after. The whole cosmos seems to be within ourselves, as if we have buttons which move the cosmos, which control the cosmos. Everything is going on so smoothly otherwise, except when we do not try to understand ourselves. It has been said practically in all the scriptures that you have to seek yourself. You have to find yourself. Though I think many of the scriptures have been a little bit changed and have been used for certain purposes, still they could not get over this point that you have to become the self. You have to be born again. But that is not an artificial thing. We are human beings, not artificially made. We are made really by some sort of a living force from amoeba. We are not just made with some sort of a thinking or a mental projection. It is not a mental projection by which we have been human beings. It is something spontaneously happening, a living force within us which has brought us to this stage, with a purpose, with a meaning. And now, at this stage, we are free to do what we like. Many people ask me, what was the need to give this freedom to human beings? It was very necessary. If you have to have the ultimate freedom, you must know how to deal with it. You have to understand. Of course, human beings have to make mistakes. To err is human. And we have to understand that this trial and error business has made us understand. Also, those who have not understood must understand that there must be a wiser, a surer way to achieve that goal of self-realization, of self-knowledge. Self-knowledge we do not have, we must admit very humbly. We have had no system by which we could know ourselves. But think of a computer that is a human being is. As soon as you see me, you know I am there. You don't have to go for programming. You don't have to consult anything. You don't have to use any kind of computer or some sort of a complicated machinery. Automatically, spontaneously, in a split of a second, you know that I am standing before you and talking to you. Such a computer we cannot create. But the divine has created such a great computer, and that is the human being. And this human being is the only one who is going to achieve that higher state which we call as the spiritual state of the self. Because in the science they deal with the tree, I should say the outside, but they cannot go into the roots. To go into the roots, you have to become a subtler being. Unless and until you become a subtler being, you cannot go into your roots to find out what are your roots are. And that is what is self-realization. When you become subtler, then only you can go into your being and can find out what actually you are. Also, to look after a tree which has not known its roots is a very difficult thing. What happens is that when you do not know your roots and you start growing and growing and growing, you go very deep down into that where you find that you have lost your way. Actually, you are not going deeper. You are spreading outside more and more. And then once you start going to extremes because of your freedom, you lose your way. That's how today everybody is saying, A shock is going to come. We are all going to face a shock. This is going to happen, that is going to happen. But actually it is absolutely in your hands because the whole of the cosmos is within you. The cosmos is working under your control, complete. It is absolutely looking after you. Every element is looking after you to preserve you, to guide you, to take you to the right thinking. But in your freedom, you have to achieve that. This is a very big condition, and there where we fail to understand. Even there are many who say there is nothing like divine, and there is nothing like God. In Russia I've been to China, and all the communist countries, and they are, in a way, partially justified. Because what they found, those people who talk of God, those who say that we believe in God, and those who say that we believe in religion, can be irreligious. Anybody who can call himself a Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Parsi, anything, is capable of anything. Whatever he wants to do, he can do it. Nobody can say that because he was a Christian, he could not do it. So the whole concept of religion becomes a mental projection again, an artificial thing. But if a person is a self-realized person, he goes beyond temptations, beyond any kind of domination of any habits. He becomes a very strong person, very powerful person, and extremely compassionate. His compassion is active. It's not a compassion that I formed a charitable institution which lends money to people. It's not like that. The being itself emits compassion, and this compassion acts and works out. For example, you become like a light which gives light to people and to yourself. You know others and you know yourself. That is the light of the truth. And unless and until that happens, one should not say that I am a self-realized soul or I am a twice born. Is artificial.